Tracy.
And I'm Andy.
And I cannot believe we are 5 episodes into this season.
Oh, we had Hannah here.
We had Hannah here, and now we have to. And now I wish we would have had
It's
her here
hard. It's hard,
afterwards,
right?
because I have so many questions I want to ask her. But you know who I do want to ask questions to?
Our good friend.
Yeah! Okay, so this episode picked up right where the last episode ended.
Yep. To be continued.
Which was with our Luke S drama.
I just gotta say, I am so tired of the Luke drama.
I cannot handle it anymore.
Like they're stretching and stretching.
And he always has, it's a combination of a look of confusion mixed with hatred for anyone that's talking to him.
Yeah.
It's like a cockiness.
Yeah. Cockiness,
arrogance.
but also
He's got an arrogance about it.
This whole episode, I felt, was 50-50 split between Hannah being really annoyed at everybody or really turned on.
Oh my God.
Because it was,
Wait,
there was a lot of
lots of legs.
It was a lot.
There was a, we have to get to that.
I know, I'm sorry. It was a very erotic episode, everyone.
It really was.
making
Okay,
out.
but Hannah gets up and leaves that conversation, and then right before the roast ceremony was about to start, as if we haven't had enough,
I know.
Lucas is like, Hannah, can I talk to you for a second? I literally was like about to bang my head against the wall. I was like, no! Just say no!
She was like this too. She was like,
By the
okay.
way, everyone, and comment below to tell me if you think that the word sure is incredibly passive-aggressive. So,
Oh, yeah, she was like,
she goes, sure.
But then he ends up essentially, which was never really made clear until he walked away, sending himself home. He's just like, watch out. Keep your eyes open.
It just walked away.
And then he just walked away.
Into
We're
the
like, oh, I
night.
guess he went home. So we can cross off Lucas because he like walked himself out with
Paul
Mateo,
Jones.
which like he never really had a chance, did he, Mateo? And then
John
it came
Paul
down
Jones.
to John Paul Jones and Luke P. And as bad as I wanted it with all my might for her to give it to John Paul Jones, sadly, he did not get it. And so then she's like, well, guess what? We're getting out of Rhode Island and going to Scotland.
Yeah, I was excited about that.
Yeah. I was excited
Beautiful.
until they started
Yeah.
making Luke Ness. What was it? Luke Ness?
Luke Ness Monster.
Luke
That
Ness
was
monster
Mike.
references, and then I was like, oh.
No, but then it
Mike.
kept coming up, and he said it 4 times, and it's going to come up during the mental, and it's going to be a whole
Luke
thing.
Ness, but anyway.
We've gotten so jaded so
I know,
quickly.
I know.
Okay, so we get our first one-on-one in Scotland, and it is Mike.
Oh, my mic.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anyone so happy to get a
He's
date?
so-
I
He couldn't stop
love
smiling.
Mike so much.
Isn't he? He's very
so
endearing.
nice and handsome and
smiley.
and just seems like a
Happy, good,
yeah.
spirited
He seems
person.
like a big teddy bear, but he also seems like someone who like you don't mess with.
He just seemed like he'd probably be fun to be with, and it looked like they had fun. They kind of just like wander around. Oh, the best part of this date, they try whiskey, and she gets hammered.
Oh, she's wasted.
She likes
It was
it.
so funny.
I love it.
All the date is like very fun, lots of smiles from Mike. He's very giddy. He opens up and he says, saying the words "I
Took
love
him
you" to
2
somebody
years to say I love
means
you.
a lot to him. And he
Right.
said it to this one woman, and then they broke up, and it like broke his heart.
Yeah.
I think that there is a great friendship there. I don't necessarily
Friendship
think
is
that
exactly
there's,
what it is.
a romantic relationship between those two.
I agree.
So he is still in the
I don't
running
know
to
if
me
he-
for Bachelor.
Me too. I don't know if he takes it, but if he ends up being the Bachelor, I would be
That's what-
A-okay with it.
So then we go to the group date, which is the Highland Games.
Oh, I
like
enjoyed this one.
Braveheart.
Bring out the accents.
I wanted to throw an axe so bad.
They didn't seem too good at it.
No, they seem terrible at it.
At all.
But they do like the axe throwing, then they did like the milk
Oh,
race.
yeah, the classic milk race.
Stand
On
that
the
up.
yoke. Of
I just
course,
kept
everyone
thinking like,
knows the
what a
milk
waste
race.
of milk. There was like so much delicious milk. And then they do like the wrestling. And then
So much delicious milk.
well,
Just
I
got
just was like,
wasted.
just wait. I guess they have a lot of it with all their
What a
like cows
travesty,
and
yeah.
sheep
poor
or
milk.
whatever.
That milk shortage.
They changed it to their kilts, which was great.
No
And they
underwear.
all took off their underwear.
That's
Yeah.
what you got to do when you wear a kilt.
Don't you
Everybody
not?
knows that.
I've never worn a kilt. Do you take off underwear when you wear a
Yeah,
kilt?
you got to.
I was pleasantly surprised by all the nuts. Comment below if you wear kilts. Do you always take off the underwear?
I mean, I just...
Okay,
Okay,
so
guys,
they,
go.
they do
Wrestle
their Highland
around.
Games, whatever, and like at
Run
one
the
point,
milk.
Jed like pours another waste of milk all over himself.
How bad
and
is he
then-
going to stink?
Ugh.
Oh, because especially if it was like goat milk, it like looked like it was smelly, and there was a lot of butts and nuts showing. But the point is,
She just kind of ices right over there.
but then the point is,
Can we say that?
butts and nuts.
Butts and nuts showing.
Is that you're gonna be your
She's going to get a
autobiography?
box. Just like the butts and nuts
Butts
had
and
over
nuts,
there.
the Corey Palin story. Butts and nuts.
Okay, so Jed wins, and then they go to the group date cocktail party. But this is where you could tell Hannah was just ready to get some.
Those kills got her turned on.
Yeah,
She was raring to go.
Yeah, first she talked to Jed, and she gave him his piece of land that was like 1 square foot.
So weird.
But then, sweet Peter took her to the pool table.
It was like the
trying
biggest
to be
pool table I've
sexy.
ever seen in my entire life.
Wait, and
With
then
the
he- and then
lowest,
he's-
the lowest
ceiling.
And then he's like, let me try something.
Awkwardly puts
He bangs her head on the light.
Oops, excuse
and
me.
then he has
Sorry.
to do it again.
And then he says, I've never done this before. He still feels a little out of his league to me.
Yes.
Oh my God, are you kidding? That's like the greatest thing that's ever happened to him.
I know, his interview. He's like, can you believe this?
He's like a kid in a candy store.
I had to put her on a pool table.
So then she brings in Tyler, sweet-faced Tyler, who now can be the front runner. She's like, I have something for you. He's like, you have something for me? And then she's like, yeah, this is bad.
It's right here, too.
Wait, I stopped it, and I had to rewind the episode a couple seconds, because I thought I missed the gift. I swear. I was like...
I got something for you. Wait,
yeah, I know.
That. A straddle?
Yeah.
That. Another straddle.
You know, not every gift can be wrapped. Okay, so all the guys are like, this date was so great because no Luke P, and so then she's ready for her Luke P date. The date card wasn't particularly romantic. It was we're gonna figure it out one way or another.
Oh, yeah, it was very ominous.
Yeah. But he was like, oh my God. He is also just misreading all the signals.
All of them.
They go to this castle and they have a picnic. This poor castle, by the way, I kept thinking we never saw it. Did you?
Yeah, no. All you saw was the edge of the cliff where at one point I thought maybe she was gonna
push him off.
Throw him off of it.
She basically says to him I just feel like I see a part of you that the other guys aren't seeing. I don't understand why they don't like you. Tell me how you feel. And he's like, I just want to give you clarity.
The best part of that whole scene, though, was when she had to go to the producers.
I loved it.
Can you talk to him? And they were like, not it.
How about when he was like, normally people love me.
I couldn't handle that.
And she was like, no. But then when they got to dinner, Hannah tells him, this has been a bad date. If you think that this is going well, you're wrong. Yeah. And you could tell he was like, oh, this wasn't good. I was thinking, did he leave thinking, he did well and now he's just, shocked by how he's being portrayed? But he couldn't be because Hannah's directly addressing him. Yeah. All the guys hate him. It's all about, sometimes I feel like a villain leaves the show and they're, shocked at how they're being portrayed. He has no friends.
I think he's been rocking this false sense of confidence the whole time because of the first impression rose.
I'm worried because Hannah basically says in her speech about the rose, she's like, I can't give you this rose, but then it weirdly cuts off and it's to be continued. So I have a fear that she's gonna say, I can't give you this rose like I normally would,
now.
But maybe let's go have another drink.
Oh, he gets the rose.
You think he's gonna get it?
Because you see him again later.
They make it seem like he doesn't get the rose and that there's a moment of he's not really gone. And I think he just gets the rose.
Okay, but we have to talk about the tease because it was very juicy, lots of tears, lots of drama, and Luke P again. So this one, Hannah was very upset, almost seems like she doesn't quit the show.
It was Garrett, right?
Yeah, it seemed like it was
when I made a mistake.
By the way,
yeah, what do we think Garrett did?
I don't know, but by the way, on this episode, I was thinking about how you said you really liked him.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
He's so cute.
Got a great head of hair.
He's really handsome.
Yeah, Garrett.
I'm definitely excited to see what happens next, and I just hope that Luke P is either not getting a rose or we are done with him next episode.
I want him gone. He's all the drama, but I think I want him gone.
Maybe one more episode.
Maybe one more episode.
Maybe one more.
A big thanks to you guys for watching.
And tune in next week for our other recap.
Comment below to tell us what you think.
And you can buy Butts and Nuts available at Barnes & Noble. Corey's autobiography.
I got it.